Hello everybody, I'm Urvashi. Welcome to my channel. Today in this video we're going to be talking about this grand trine that is being formed on the 11th of October with Jupiter entering the sign of Scorpio and Rahu still in the sign of Cancer. And this is what I'm going to be talking about, this mutual aspect and this trinal relationship that both of them have to each other. So before I start, for all those who haven't subscribed as yet, or for those who are watching one of my videos for the first time, remember to subscribe, because otherwise you're going to miss out on all the great uploads. And after subscribing, also remember to tap the bell icon, because it's only if you tap the bell icon that you will receive any kind of a notification for any videos that I upload. What is going to be happening from the 11th of October to the 7th of March 2019 is that Rahu is going to be in the zodiac of Cancer and Jupiter is in the zodiac of Scorpio. So they're going to be in trines from each other, in the trinal houses from each other, and they're going to be both aspecting each other. That is, they're going to be both looking at each other and they're going to be having an impact on the other simultaneously. Both of them, it's going to be a mutual impact on the other. So this is what I'm going to be talking about in this video, and what does it really mean for us, for all of us, and for the zodiacs, for the different zodiacs. I'm going to touch that a little bit. So this is going to be a great, according to me, as far as I see this, it's a very, very interesting phenomena, because Jupiter is going to be in the sign of Scorpio. So first of all, this is the Watery trine. This is both the Watery houses. So the three Watery houses are going to be very strongly activated in these 6 months. That is, Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces are going to be strongly activated in transit during these 6 months. And Jupiter being in the sign of Scorpio, Scorpio is the sign of sudden happenings, the unexpected things that happen to us. Could be good things, could be bad things, depending on your dasha, depending on the promise in your chart, especially if you have a Jupiter dasha. So suddenly, if Jupiter is well placed and the promise is great in your chart, suddenly something good could be happening for you in this dasha. And in this transit, with Jupiter being placed in the sign of Scorpio, unexpected gains, unexpected windfalls, unexpected, even getting something like a lottery, or unexpectedly going into research work, unexpectedly going deep into studying, things that you left off in the past, unexpectedly, suddenly going in deep into yourself. Somebody who would go for a hypnosis session, who would try to understand himself or herself better. That is also something that I would see from a Jupiter in Scorpio. Somebody who's trying to identify the hidden side of life, the mysteries of life. Somebody trying to learn occult, somebody trying to learn magic, somebody trying to learn about himself, what is there inside of himself, his own personality, the inhibitions that he has, and why he or she has those inhibitions. What are the things that he's stuck upon? Why is he or she not able to move on? We all have certain fears and phobias. So this position with Jupiter in the sign of Scorpio, I would see all that getting enhanced. Whatever is deeply hidden inside our subconscious, whatever is stopping us sometimes from growth, because the next sign is the sign of Sagittarius. I'm talking about the natural zodiac. So the sign of Sagittarius is for, growth, for higher learning, for growing into a more spiritual being. And the sign of Scorpio is the sign of transformation. It is where we change. It is where we shed off one skin and we become somebody else. And how do we do that? We do that by first being connected to all that we have deeply hidden inside of ourselves, and sorting all that out, and then leaving all that behind and moving forward into a more confident, more adventurous, more spiritual person that a Sagittarian is, generally speaking. So that is what the sign of Scorpio is about, especially with Jupiter here. Jupiter is going to be dealing with all the hidden things, all the secrets and mysteries of life, and the secrets and mysteries that we have inside of ourselves. So sometimes it could be real negative things that are secret and hidden, and they could come up during this point of time, especially if you have a Jupiter dasha going on, and something could come up depending on the promise of the chart. It could be something negative or it could be something positive that something that could be gainful for you, because the 8th house is also sudden gains. So gains from inheritances, gains from other people's money, situations where you would like to save on taxes, where you would like to save money that could have otherwise gone away, or suddenly gain from insurance, inheritance and things like that, or even gain from a lottery. You could be winning a lottery. So that all could be happening suddenly during this point of time. And now especially with this Rahu aspect, because Rahu is the planet for growth. Rahu is the planet that wants everything larger than life. Rahu is the planet that wants to magnify everything, just blow everything out of proportion. And Rahu is going to be aspecting Jupiter. Of course, Jupiter is also aspecting Rahu, which is a good thing, because Jupiter tends to control the negativities of Rahu whenever Jupiter aspects Rahu. But Rahu too is going to be aspecting Jupiter. So Rahu and Jupiter together are going to be aspecting the 3 watery houses are right now being influenced by Rahu as well as Jupiter. So Cancer, Rahu is already placed in. Scorpio, Jupiter is going to be posited from the 11th of October, and Pisces, both these planets together are going to be aspecting each other as well. So this trine is going to be very, very, very activated. And Rahu, what it does is, Rahu is a planet for materialistic growth. Rahu wants name, fame. Rahu wants a status. Rahu wants wealth. Rahu wants lots and lots of it, and immediate, fast. Rahu doesn't want to go the hard way. Rahu doesn't want to go the slow way. He suddenly wants it's like a windfall. That's what Rahu wants, suddenly, overnight. And Rahu usually gives that. He gives name, fame, status, growth, windfall, gains, lotteries. So whenever there is a sudden element in any kind of a growth or even in a downfall, Rahu is usually involved in certain yogas, and that's when these sudden growths and sudden downfalls happen. Rahu is the planet of ups and downs. Rahu doesn't give too much of stability, and Rahu tends to magnify everything, and Rahu wants to earn from everything. And Rahu posited right now in the sign of Cancer, aspecting the sign of Scorpio, aspecting where Jupiter is posited, it would want gains, wealth, sudden inheritances, sudden growth, lotteries, winning lotteries. It already wants, being in Cancer, it wants whatever you see from the 4th house, all the wealth, the comfort, vehicles, properties. And if you're a Cancer ascendant, then Rahu is in the ascendant right now. Rahu wants fame. Rahu wants to be known, to be seen. Rahu will you may just try and change your image. You may just try and change the way you look. But Rahu also confuses you. So if you have in your natal chart, I'll do a separate series on this, of where all Rahu is posited and how it is going to impact you. So Rahu basically tends to confuse you. Rahu doesn't give you a clear picture of what is happening. So I'll just give you one example. If Rahu is in the ascendant in the natal chart, the native is the native wants to look, he'll be extremely or she'll be extremely well groomed. They really take great care of themselves. For them, the image is extremely important. The way they look is very important. So they may, sometimes tend to have weird hairstyles. They may tend to have all kinds of piercings, a lot of tattoos on the body. They want to look different. They want to be obvious in a crowd, and they usually are obvious in a crowd. Or they want to be, immaculately dressed and very well groomed. They want to look good. And what Rahu will do is, Rahu will confuse this with the about yourself. There'll be a confusion. You may end up harming yourself in many ways. The tattoos may cause you to have some kind of a skin disease, or the weird colors that you're using could impact you long term, or you may be so hung up on your looks that it may psychologically impact you. It may impact your health. You may be so much into being slim and looking good that it may negatively impact your health. So Rahu basically confuses you about wherever it is posited. You can't sometimes trust your decisions. If you go back to your natal chart, wherever Rahu is posited in your natal chart, you will tend to make a lot of wrong decisions regarding that house. So it's best to take advice from somebody you can trust. So that is what usually Rahu does, wherever it is posited. So for Cancer, right now it is in the ascendant, and for the other house, for the other zodiacs, where Rahu is posited, and there must have been a lot of videos when Rahu moved into the sign of Cancer. Well, I didn't make one, but wherever the sign of Rahu is transiting, that is where you will want growth. That is where you will suddenly feel you need to work on that side of your life, and that needs to get magnified, and you need to have people know that you're doing that thing. So, and Rahu is aspecting Scorpio also right now, and Rahu wants all that is hidden and all that is secret and all that Jupiter is going to bring out and Jupiter is going to be working on. Rahu really wants to amplify and magnify that and wants some kind of gains from that in these 6 months. He wants sudden unexpected results and really larger than life. He really wants them very big. He just blows everything out of proportion, and sometimes that makes us make wrong decisions. Sometimes we make a lot of wrong decisions when we are under the impact of Rahu. So that is what actually a Jupiter Rahu conjunction we call a Guru Chandal Yoga, where Rahu tends to confuse the Guru. Rahu tends to bring an illusion in your decisions, in your wisdom. So similarly, Rahu right now impacting Jupiter. If Rahu acts on a lower plane and Jupiter is not very well posited in your natal chart, then Rahu in this case may impact this trine negatively and cause you to make wrong decisions. And on the positive side, if both of them are very well placed in your chart, and let's suppose if they are placed in this trine, in the watery trine in your chart, and you have a dasha of let's suppose Jupiter Mahadasha, Rahu Antardasha, let's suppose if somebody has that and they are placed in this watery trine in your natal chart, and this is like now this in transit, this trine is again getting activated and you have a dasha, and if they are well placed in the natal chart, then this could be like an awesome 6 months for you. This could be like, because this is this grand trine being activated, and this could bring sudden gains for you. So this could be extremely good, or it could be a lot of confusion. It could be extremely good and it could be bad as well, depending on the dignity of Rahu and Jupiter in your birth chart, depending on the promise of your chart, depending on the dasha, or it may not impact you at all. You may not feel the impact of this trine that is activated. You may not feel it at all, or you may feel it on a very lesser degree. But if you have important planets in these houses, in these zodiacs, especially in the nakshatra of Anuradha and Pushya, because between the 27th of October to the 27th of December, Jupiter is going to be in Anuradha, and Rahu at that point of time is going to be in Pushya. So if you see the trines, if you've gone through the nakshatras, you will understand the trines, the houses that are 5 and 9, 1, 5 and 9 from each other, all the trines have the nakshatras of the same Lord. So Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces, 3 degree 20 minutes to 16 degree 40 minutes are the nakshatras of Saturn. Cancer has Pushya, Scorpio has Anuradha, and Pisces has Uttar Bhadrapad, all 3 nakshatras for Saturn. So in those 2 months, 27th October to 27th December, Rahu is in Cancer, and in Scorpio and Anuradha we have Jupiter. So these nakshatras of Saturn are all going to be very strongly activated, and if you have important planets in these nakshatras and if you have a dasha, these 2 months could be like a twist of fate for you. These 2 months could be extremely great when you suddenly grow, when you suddenly gain, or if they are in bad dignity, certain planets, and you have those dashas, and now Rahu Jupiter transiting over those planets, you could be making suddenly the worst decisions of your life and causing a blunder for yourself. But yes, the promise during this time, if all is good in your chart, is sudden gains, like a windfall gain, like a twist of fate, like winning a lottery, like suddenly inheriting something you didn't even think of, like an uncle who's a distant uncle, you weren't expecting him, but he left everything for you. Suddenly you may get to read his will, and you may be shocked to see that he's left an entire estate or a farmhouse for you, or you may be making a lot of wrong decisions because Jupiter is in the sign of Scorpio and is going to bring out all that's hidden and deep, and Rahu is going to be impacting him, and Rahu wants everything sudden. Rahu wants everything quickly, the shortest way. So Rahu, in his hurry, may be impacting this trine in such a way, especially if the dignity in the natal chart isn't very good, that there could be an element of illusion and we may end up making the wrong decisions. So especially these 2 months, 27th October to 27th December, when these 3 nakshatras are activated, if you have important planets there, then be on the lookout. Suddenly there could be a windfall of some kind, and be careful of any decisions that you could be making, because yes, they could prove to be very good for you, and you could also be under some kind of an illusion because of Rahu. So generally it seems to be looking very good this time. Sudden gains could be there for you, but remember to take care of any major decisions that you're making. So now I'm just going to be touching all the zodiacs. I'm just going to be touching the element of the zodiac. So I'm going to be talking about the watery signs. For the watery signs, this is the 1st, 5th and the 9th house. So sudden changes can be expected related to your children. So here you could have on the negative side, if Rahu is acting on the negative side, if Jupiter is not very well placed in your chart, and if you have a dasha of Jupiter Rahu, then you could be under some kind of an illusion, or you could be making some kind of a wrong decision for your children. You could be having wrong expectations of your children. You could be wanting to take up some kind of an education, because remember, there's the 5th and the 9th house, the both show knowledge and education. You may be wanting to take up some kind of a course, but you may be too ambitious about what you want, and you may end up making the wrong choice also. Or you may suddenly, for education, you may be going abroad. You may always have wanted to go abroad for education, and suddenly during these 2 months things may work out for you. So depending on the dignity of Rahu Jupiter in your chart, depending on your dasha, depending on the promise of the chart, it could be either way. So the 1st, 5th, 9th house, suddenly your past karmas will be activated, and suddenly you may be rewarded for that. Suddenly you may start, like I said, you may go back into teaching. You may go for a long distance travel. You may your philosophy in life may just change. You may get into mantra sadhana. You may start recitation of mantras. So suddenly you may be into polishing yourself into becoming a more spiritual person. Suddenly you may want to change your own image. You may want to and you may just gain popularity during this point of time. You may just become very popular with a lot of people. You may become well known. Your image will come out and be of a very positive person. Somebody people like to know, somebody people would like to interact with. So it could be that as well. So you could also be getting into a relationship. You may be falling in love, and because Rahu, especially if this is if you're a Pisces ascendant and Rahu is in the 5th house, so you may feel that you're in love, and you may be idolizing the situation too much, because when Rahu impacts the 5th house, then you tend to idolize love too much. You may tend to expect a lot, and you may end up making a lot of wrong decisions as well. So depending again on the promise of the chart, the dasha, the dignity of Rahu and Jupiter, any of this could be happening, and you may actually be finding the right person. If you are a Cancer ascendant and Jupiter is right now transiting in your 5th house, you may kind of find like a soulmate for yourself. So it could be any of this. For the airy signs, for Gemini, for Libra and Aquarius, now this trine is being formed in the 2nd, in the 6th and in the 10th house. So this is the Arctic trine, where this the grand trine is being formed of Rahu and Jupiter. So this during this period of time, sudden career growth, sudden changes in career, sudden gains, sudden wealth being added, like winning a lottery, also could be there for you. Sudden midterm appraisals and salary hikes, like great hikes, a profile change, sudden status change. But remember, because like I said, depending on the dignity of Rahu, depending on the dignity of Jupiter, you may be wanting to take up a loan right now that may impact your pocket right now. You may make the wrong kind of financial decisions, so be careful about that. This all may impact you financially. You may be wanting to take up a job, take up a service. You may want to change your previous job. You may be getting an opportunity. Be very prudent. in making your decisions, because Rahu is there in this trine. And Rahu sometimes, it causes confusions. It becomes too ambitious. You may take up a new opportunity and later on realize this is just not my cup of tea. You may be getting a huge package, but something that you may not enjoy. So Rahu is, it just wants things quickly, and sometimes it doesn't consider all the sides to a situation. So that too could be happening. So this is also a great position for gains, but just be careful about any major decisions that you make regarding your finances, regarding taking a loan. You may, take up a loan at this point of time and may have a difficulty paying it off later on. So that also could happen. It would happen for you. You will get the loan. If you have a favourable dasha, you will, you can take up a credit from a bank or something. But because Rahu is there involved in this trine, you may not clearly see how you're going to pay off that debt, which may later impact you negatively. So be careful about the decisions you make regarding these houses. Then we have for the earthy signs, for Taurus, for Virgo, and for Capricorn. So now it is the karma trine that is being activated, the 3rd house, the 7th house, and the 11th house. So your expectations, your desires, and your dreams, all that is going to kind of get blown out of proportion. You will have a lot of expectations from yourself, from your business, from your relationships. And you, if like Rahu and Jupiter are well placed in your chart, you may gain quite a bit during this point of time. You may achieve some of your ambitions during this point of time. So it's a great position. But remember not to get too ambitious where relationships are concerned, because in relationships, ambition doesn't really pay off. So there you may end up making wrong decisions and just falling flat on your face. So where relationships are concerned, do be careful. Desires are going to be very high. Because the 3rd house is activated, you may want to take initiatives regarding new business, regarding a new venture. It's a great thing, especially initiatives related to things like counseling, because Jupiter is also involved in this trine. Counseling, communication, like a job in public relation, healing, things like that. So it's a great time to take these initiatives. It's a great time for growth. Just that, remember not to have too many expectations from relationships. Don't let expectations, from that aspect of life go out of proportion, because that usually hurts. So it's a great position for this trine to be activated. Expectations and desires are going to be high. You may be entering into a new venture, like I just said, but be careful. Remember to be wise about your decisions. With your spouse, don't have too high expectations, because that may cause trouble. Then I'll come down to the fiery signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So this is the moksha trine that is now being activated, the 4th, the 8th, and the 12th house. So for you people, you may feel very secluded at this time. You may want to be secluded from everybody else. You may want a lot of quiet time for yourself. You may get strongly connected to spirituality, to meditation. This is a great time for spirituality, for meditation, for studying the occult, for studying religion, for studying all the deep hidden mysteries of life, for being more connected to your own self, or for sudden gains, for suddenly gaining some property through inheritance, for suddenly like your dad may just gift you a car, for all you know, for suddenly deciding you need to redo your house and spending on that could happen for you, for suddenly gaining through a lottery, because the 8th house is strongly activated, especially October 27 to December 27. This trine of Saturn, the 3 nakshatras are very, very activated. So I would suggest all of us, let's go buy some lottery tickets. I intend to do that. I'm going to do that. And let's take advantage of this time, especially if you have important planets in these nakshatras, because this trine is very, very strongly activated. It's a grand trine right now, and any planet there is going to be activated, and it's going to give you sudden results. Especially, yes, like I was talking about the fiery signs, for you the 4th house, the 8th house, the 12th house, yes, spirituality, moksha, religion, being more at home, spending more time with your family, being more connected to yourself. Yes, all that could be happening for you. But remember, don't take any major decisions. Like I said, be very, very cautious. Rahu is involved in this trine. Rahu can go either ways, Jupiter is very well placed in this transit because Jupiter is in the house of Mars, which is a good friend of Jupiter's. So yes, good things are better expected, but again depends on the placement of Jupiter and Rahu in your natal charts, depends on the dignity of the planets in your natal charts, depends on the promise in your natal chart, depends on the dasha in your natal chart. But generally this is a great period for sudden gains. This is a great period for growth, these 2 months especially. But right up to the 7th of March, this trine, these 3 houses are going to be activated. So wherever these 3 houses fall, Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces in your natal chart, that is where the action is going to be. So stay connected. Let me know, give me feedback about what's happening in your life regarding these 3 houses. I would love to know. And we'll be now seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.